edition of Yojana, we would be talking about the Ayush concept. Now, Ayush is Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. All of them have been considered as alternative healing practices. Now, these alternative healing practices under the Sustainable Development Goal 2, where we talk about removing hunger, the idea is through this the malnutrition problems could be addressed. Then the health and the well-being, which would include exercise, diet, a lifestyle with lifestyle modification, therapeutic treatments, which would be possible. 80% of the world population is now relying in one way or the other on traditional medicine practices, and AIMS Delhi campus has become one of the pioneer centers for the CIMR, the Center for Integrative Medicine and Research. Under the Ministry of Ayush, there have been various standardization for the products and the quality demarcations which have been done. For example, the daily practices for yoga, pranayam, meditation, steam inhalation using either mint or cavari leaves, which is the Ajwain seeds, and then the kapoor or the camphor. Dry cough, the problem being resolved through muleti or licorice, and the clove. Then we are focusing on the traditional knowledge, the scientific methods to understand the traditional knowledge, the lifestyle modifications required, and for this a universal health care to achieve this system would include 4 A's: accessibility, affordability, availability and acceptance. So 3 A's, along with that another 4A, which is important. Now this 4A is part of the universal health coverage under Ayush, which is acceptability. People must accept the alternate medicine system. So under the Sustainable Development Goal 3 for good health and well-being and Goal 10, which is reduced inequality, Ayush Mission has been working for this One World, One Health program. There has been a Sanjeevani mobile app which has been used for traditional medicines during the COVID time. Research and development has been going in the various fields. Various universities, hospitals, institutions have been part of it, including the research activities for botany, chemistry, pharma have been working for this concept of one world as one family. The next is direct benefit transfer scheme. More than 300 central schemes and 2000 state schemes have been expanded for this transformative program, which includes Kisan Samman Nidhi, pension for the old age, Divyang and for widows. So there are various forms of beneficiaries. There are two important instruments by the government, which is the directive rights, the fundamental rights and the directive principles of the state policy. Both of them have been focusing on the provisions for dignified living, and there are various issues under Article 21 which are addressed. For example, removing inequalities, opportunities, strengthening the healthcare, creating electronic Aadhaar card, forming central identity data repositories as some of these. The next is rich households benefit more from the subsidies than the poor households when subsidies are given in the form of electricity, water or fuel subsidy. So subsidy conversion through DBT has to be mediated, and Jandan Aadhaar and JAM Trinity, which is the Jandan Aadhaar and mobile, have been working perfectly in this direction. There have been social registries which have been created. For example, Kutumb in Karnataka, Parivar Pehchan Patra in Haryana, Samragra in Madhya Pradesh, Jan Aadhaar in Rajasthan and so on. For the healthy living, there is a concept: how much should you eat, and half of your plate should be full of vegetables and fruits and the remaining half with wheat and rice. Now there have been idea about eating, so those who plate all their food, instead of going the second and the third, eat 14% less. That means if you are plating your food in one round, you are tending to eat 14% less. There are certain deep-seated emotional problems and conflicts which are related to it. Saying no is again an art, and looking for good alternatives. Addictions, carving, alcohol, eating disorders are certain conflicts that needs to be checked. So half plate rule is an easy tool. Within the food diet, you must have ghee, nuts, chia seeds, eggs as part of the healthy routine that has been cited. So adequate amount of pulses, adequate amount of protein, carbohydrate, roughage should go into the meals, and at least 2 to 3 servings of good protein on a daily basis is required by the body. There is a Japanese saying hara hichibu, which means one feels 80% full. Now when the plate is full, one feels 80% full, and that's how we tend to think about what to eat, how to eat better. Again, replacement for wheat and white rice, which is considered as healthy, is lentil flour, jackfruit flour, quinoa, millets. Ragi is one of those. When to eat, how much to eat, again important question. So sleeping hours should be well defined. Any eating between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is considered good, and working hours would be the best time to have a healthy eating habit. Again, for certain eating principles are required. Do not live against the clock, follow your circadian rhythm, have regular health checkups, proper management of diet should be part of it. This year we are celebrating International Year of Millets. Some of the important millets, for example, ragi, which is a wholesome millet figure, checks diabetes, is an excellent baby food, helps in bone development, relaxes the body, and is an excellent source of protein. Again, other millets, we are mapping millets with the Shri Anna scheme, and there is where we say that millets are more transformational, having higher content of protein for good health, for economic, for well-being, and also they are climate resilient. That means even in adverse conditions, these crops can grow well. Sorghum is one of the crops which is considered as a staple crop in semi-arid areas and is called as the king of millet. So again, an important millet, sorghum. Yoga practice. Now yoga has been considered as an important device for bringing in environmental sustainability, peace, harmony, social harmony, cultural awareness, and so on. There have been various researches on yoga on non-communicable disease. It has been helpful for stroke, asthma, hypertension, diabetes, and diseases like cancer. Actually, yoga reduces the stress, reduces the inflammation, improves the immune system, improves the quality and concentration. There are various types of yoga. The Ashtang limb of the yoga, which was given by Patanjali, talks about yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi, which is the ultimate, the self-realization. Also, yogasan, pranayam, the various mudras, bandh and dhyan are important. The postures are called as asan. The controlled breathing is pranayam. The relaxation is yoga nidra, and then meditation is the dhyan. There are various meditational approaches that are also used. Now, WHO has talked about complete well-being and absence of disease as the status for being healthy. For this sustainable life, yoga and meditation have played an important role, and it's not just in India. These concepts have been helpful for people across the globe. So Dhyana Mudra, Jnana Mudra are some of the important ones. Then we do have practices like Surya Namaskar. Then there are various kosh in healing. These are the energetic or the vibratory levels. For example, Anmaya kosh that talks about food, Pranmaya for energy, Manomaya for mind, Vishnamaya for intuition, and Anandamaya for bliss, which is the deepest layer. These yoga and pranayam are considered as a vaccine for mental and emotional well-being. So a large degree of modern diseases which are considered are now psychosomatic, and to remove those psychosomatic diseases, yoga is considered as one of the very heartful ways. The next is meditation for internal hygiene is also important. So it reduces the sleep deprivation. It also brings in sanity, helps you to discriminate between right and wrong, good and bad, cause and effect, and being swasth or settled in life is again important one. Minor health problems can easily be resolved based on it. Talking under the G20 holistic health aspects, health tracking priority areas, focusing on emergencies, preparedness and response, the pharma sector initiatives, innovations and solutions, and mission life, which talks about the environment to actually combat. 80% of the villages and the urban local bodies are environmental friendly. There are various projects intended for the same, and there are three cores in the demand, which is change in the sustainability, which is change in the demand, supply and policy for eco-friendly actions. And with this, the mission life can actually be transforming the status. For example, switching off cars and scooter engines at traffic light, turning off the running taps when not in use, using cloth bag rather than plastic bags, discarding the non-functional gadgets at the recycling unit are some of the aspects. Coming on to Gandhian thought. Under Gandhian thought and the Jaina philosophy, there have been very much similarities. So, non-stealing, non-possession, aparigraha were some of the important aspects. Minimalistic lifestyle, using only what is required for you, is another important aspect. And Gandhiji, in his mission for daily discourses, talked about prayers when he was in Yeravada jail in 1930, and he also wrote numerous letters in Satyagraha ashram. There have been various things that he had focused on regarding non-violence, ahimsa, non-possession, non-stealing, tolerance, bread labor, working for your life, and every time you are overeating, you are injuring your own body. So cooked food in a common kitchen is one of the best things. My Experiment with Truth is one of the books where the details of his ideas have been found. Now his papers were presented, and then he took the responsibility of Indian opinion. He published the papers in English, Gujarati, Hindi and Tamil, and later moved to Phoenix, and in 1904 found a settlement there. In the Indian opinion, he wrote articles which were relating to health and hygiene for common man. There were certain rules. For example, everyone should wake up 4 in the morning, should eat in the community kitchen, should spin at least 160 threads daily. There should be no servant, no labor for household work. Adult young men should take care of the daily cleaning processes, and daily diary should be maintained for what you have done the whole day. At least 8 hours a day, the time should be spent for working with the ashram. There has been a recent book released, My Dear Fellow Citizens, by Vice President of India, which has been brought by Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, and has 100 inspiring stories talking about the various important developments. Now, Malcolm Federation has been by Mallavnath Purna, who has been a person dedicated to promoting teaching Malcolm in United States, and his idea is to have one training center of Malcolm in every state of United Nations. He originally belongs to Telangana and is the youngest mountaineer to climb Mount Everest at age of 13 years and 11 months. She is now working on the new project. Malknath Purv is working on her new project, which is Shakti, and it aims to raise funds for the underprivileged girl. The next is Manav Mandir. Now, this has been an institution in Kothon, and that is in the Solan district of Himachal Pradesh, a voluntary organization working towards patients with muscular dystrophy, providing picnic for purpose or rehab campus is the main idea for them. Project Sampurna is another such initiative which was started in Boingaon in Assam, and this project aims to focus on not just the education but health, vaccination and nutrition for an individual. Pathyat Sahu, the name comes with the Nadol village in the Kalahandi district of Odisha, and it is regarding practicing Ayurveda for 40 years across the tribal areas, and his concepts have been focusing on rare herbs. Ram Lothan Kushwaha has built a museum for indigenous plants on his own farm and has nearly 225 rare medicinal plants which have been found there. Avni Zanzarukia from Surat has focused on Yogasan and yoga in front of nearly 2.5 lakh people, with 70% of the people pledging to adopt yoga as one of the daily practices has been done. So this has been again a ray of hope for adapting a normal lifestyle, and especially for the Divyang population. Now, this was some of the important topics that we have discussed under Ayush. A really important topic for your upcoming mains and also for your prelims 2024. If you are looking for the complete GS material, do follow the links below. Wish you very good luck. Have a wonderful day ahead.